Oh dear, The Adventures of Bayou Billy doesn't quite fit.
Well, you can just put Bayou Billy.
Yeah, I think I will have to.
And I'll give you a countdown for start time. In this game, everyone uses SDA timing, and I just go by what other people do so that all of our runs, go by the same convention. I don't really care for SDA timing for reasons that I would point out if we weren't on a schedule.
That much, eh?
Well, actually, I'll show you the game saying The Adventures of Bayou Billy. So, on SDA timing, I can press start here, and, the game started, but we're not starting the timer.
That's fair. I understand now.
So here we are, sitting through an intro, and this isn't counting against us or anything. It's a small detail, but it just doesn't really seem to make sense. Anyway, are you ready?
I am ready whenever
Awesome.
you are.
So I'll give you a 3-second countdown.
I'm familiar. The catchy music. It's beautiful.
3, 2, 1, go! Alright, now the dropkick is your strongest weapon in this game. If you get to a very specific pixel vertically above or below your enemy, they won't be able to attack you. It's sort of like a glitch, but that's sort of what I'm doing most of the time here, just trying to set up that 1 pixel difference. I think I have it here, so you'll notice he's just walking past me and not hitting me, and that's really useful for speed. And I got it there as well. And it looks like he's not going to attack me either. It's not really easy to set it all up against every single one of them on the fly, but ultimately that's your goal. Nope. These guys get really confused when you drop kick to the other side of them, so the best strategy in general when there aren't this many of them on the screen is to just sort of alternate back and forth like this. But these guys are being very annoying right now. Here we go. Come back. Come back. Oh, I thought he was done. Oh, I still thought he was done. There we go. So, people like to think of this as one of the hardest Konami games ever, one of the cruelest, and for that reason, it wasn't well received by a lot of kids. This game was really difficult for kids. But in terms of speedrunning, I really like it. I find it a lot of fun. Sorry if the button mashing is excessively loud. Again, this particular controller I'm using, I haven't used it before, but the buttons do require a bit more of a push. So here we're trying to collect the guns from these two guys before they turn around. We got them both there. This guy has a bulletproof vest on, so we need to kick that off of him, and then we can just shoot them all, which is nice. And now we get ourselves in position to shoot these guys. This guy got a little close, so I'm gonna burn off 2 bullets that I don't need. We'll use kicks for this guy. One might even say air kicks.
Ooh. Air kicks hype.
And that's actually the last enemy I have to defeat in the first level. These gators, I believe in the Japanese version of this game, which I believe is called Mad City, some of these gator sections that you can skip over in the US version, you cannot skip over in the Japanese version. That's the end of level 1. Not much to say about level 2. It's really fun, especially for kids. They did a really good job of making a shooter level that combines, shooting enemies with, picking up power-ups and things like that. Things are pretty safe for the most part. If you do game mode A, you'll be using the zapper instead of the controller, but I didn't want to make this too complicated or too loud, so I'm just doing game mode B. In the world record video, I did this mode as well, but I don't think I would be hindered at all by using the zapper. It would just be a change of pace, basically. So yeah, while this level is going, feel free to say anything you want if there's anything on your mind.
Sammy, how about a quick update on what this is all about.
Yeah, for those of you who came in from Proton John's stream or perhaps anywhere else, this is Slurpathon 3. We are raising money for Slurpeeninja and Iris Joker to get to AGDQ to do a trauma center run. As it was just linked in the chat, there is information and the schedule. If any of you can help out, either by donations or by spreading the word even, just by tweeting it or posting, any help we can get is very much appreciated. We've had a great number of supports so far and we're very grateful for all of it. In addition, if you donate $5 or more, you will be entered in a raffle to win either, we have some different Steam games up, or we have some Perlers, which are shown in the Be Right Back screen, which we actually haven't shown in a little bit just because we're in the Nintendo block right now, but all of that information is available on the schedule page that Cybermorphy has told us. And we've been having a fun day so far.
We have. I haven't been here for most of it, but I really wanted to be. I had to work today, unfortunately.
Oh, work.
Yeah. But I'm thrilled to be here, and I'm thrilled to watch the runs after mine. It's gonna be a good evening.
Yeah, looking forward into the schedule. We will still have NesCardinality playing Kickle Cubicle, and then sort of transitioning between the NesCardinality block and the next block, we have the Fisher Price block coming up.
Yeah, that's when things get really serious.
Very serious. We have Fisher Price, I Can Remember, Perfect Fit, and Firehouse Rescue. And of course, one thing that we're very much looking forward to after that, we are going to find out where Waldo is.
Right on.
That is a question we have been asking all night. And following that, just around midnight hour time, we will be getting into some Mega Man 9 and 10. We do have a donation incentive. The Mega Man 9, we did reach at $500. Slurpeeninja will be doing a Proto Man run on that. And for Mega Man 10, we have a $650 donation goal for him to do base mode, and we are just about there. It looks like we're about 11 and a little bit dollars away from that, if my math is correct, which it might be wrong, I'm sorry. So we're getting very close on that. And then, of course, I will also mention the ultimate goal of $1,000 Canadian. If we do reach that, Slurpeeninja will be doing a Dragon Warrior 7 run starting on November 14th, and that is most likely going to be around 24 hours. Of course, we do hope he will PB, but that will be what is happening if we reach $1,000.
As long as the chicken goes that way, we're all good here. Got the items where we want them. There's a little bit of randomness here. If I lose too much life against these three enemies, then I might take a death on the boss to this level, but we'll see what happens. Well, that worked well.
I have to be able to read the screen.
Yeah, I think I took too much damage. So we'll probably take a death here. Well, especially if that happens. Oh man! Yeah, we'll definitely take a death here. It'll be faster. Get to start right at the boss. Okay, now we have to get out of range. And we got it.
It's okay. Don't worry.
It's probably because of this, honestly.
No, it's always been there the whole time.
Okay.
We didn't have the echo before. We're wondering what it caused this between now and 2DX.
Huh.
That's okay. Well, we'll have to just live with it. I turned the gain down on the mic a bit, so it shouldn't echo as badly. No, I'm saying the room shouldn't echo as much if the gain is down.
Yeah, that's true, because the mic's right here. So yeah, for all the difficulty and hatred due to the difficulty this game received, it was actually a fairly ingenious concept at the time. It combined 3 different game modes. The side-scroll beat-em-up, the zapper levels, which are also really fun to do with the zapper, and then these driving stages. So it's almost like 3 games in one. Every kid's dream, except it's really, really hard. So yeah, not much to say about the driving levels, except for the fact that when you throw a grenade at a plane, as long as your grenade is in the air, you cannot shoot. And your grenade isn't going to land on a vehicle on the road, so... if there are vehicles up ahead and you see a plane coming, it's very dangerous to try and grenade it, especially since the hitboxes are a little bit weird on these planes. Sometimes your grenade will go right through them and not hit them at all. And if that happens, it takes a while for them to land. So you see there, I didn't throw a grenade because I saw there was a Jeep coming, and I wanted to make sure I could shoot it. It's risky, to say the least, to try and drive around a Jeep as opposed to shooting it. That was just a time bonus. That doesn't always appear, and when it does, there's no actual reason to pick it up. But there's also no reason not to pick it up, because having extra time, like, it's not the kind of thing where at the end of the level it adds it to your score or whatever. So there's no reason not to pick it up either. So I just do, because why not? It's like style points. Now bullets, on the other hand, in the shooting stages, you'll notice I try to waste as many bullets as possible, because at the end of the stages, they do actually add your bullets to your points. And so we try and minimize that process as much as possible. But we don't get ourselves to 0 bullets, because even if you've beaten the boss, if you go down to 0 bullets, you die. It's the game's failsafe for running out of ammo. So you don't, like, soft lock the game or something like that. Have to wait for this while the game arbitrarily chooses a point bonus. And then this driving level is harder than the previous one. The enemies are the same, but if you pass a Jeep in this level, it can actually drive up from behind you and come back on the screen, so you have to be really careful if that happens. The roads, yeah, the roads are also a lot windier, so we really have to be careful when we enter a turn what our location is on the road. If we're too far from the inside, basically we might have to slow down to avoid hitting one of those poles on the side of the road. And again there, I threw a grenade and it missed. So yeah, here we were on the wrong side of the road. Another miss. We were on the wrong part of the road, so we had to slow down so that we didn't hit one of these poles. It's faster to slow down and avoid a pole than it is to crash into it and have the game recenter you on the middle of the road after a crash. A crash will kill you. We have 3 lives right now. We don't have to worry about lives, but... yeah, the time lost from a crash will be bad. And if we actually run out of lives, we just got a free one there. Which is earlier than I normally get it, which is cool. But if we run out of lives in this level, we'd have to start from the very beginning. And that would be, of course, terrible for a speedrun. So we're not going to do that. The other thing I want to mention about this level is the oil slicks. In the previous level, there were water puddles, and if you go over them, you just slow down. It slows you down to something like half speed, and you have to re-accelerate. The oil slicks actually don't seem to do anything. My only guess is that it was a programming oversight. It looks like, you know, it was meant to sort of trip you up and make your turning more slippery. But I've tested it out, and the only difference is this. Like, when you change directions, the game just makes a sound as though you're, like, skidding on the road, but it doesn't actually do anything. So again, I think that was sort of a programming oversight. Maybe the developers had to get the game in, you know, they had, like, a super close deadline, and that was the one detail they didn't program in. Who knows? Anyway, as always, with every Konami game, the music is fantastic. There you see my grenade going straight through the helicopter and not hitting it. Just one more reason, if there's a vehicle on the road, you want to be really careful about, you know, whether or not you actually launch a grenade. It's dangerous. So here we're a little close. I tried to avoid that missile, so it got me over to the side of the road. So I had to slow down there to avoid that pole. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. When you're turning, the hitbox of your bullets gets really, really weird. So I have to be very careful when I'm going around to turn and just adjusting. Alright, so now the secret to this level, there are these enemies that stab you, and they start off the screen. If you keep them off the screen for long enough, they just vanish. And so that's what I'm doing with my movement here. I'm just keeping them off the side, and that worked twice in a row. And then there's one more here, and we got him. So yeah, that reduced my time on this game by well over a minute, certainly. There's one on the right here, so I'm just going to delay kicking this guy. And we got him. Oops. Doesn't matter if we get hit here, by the way. Okay, there's a guy on the left here that we're avoiding, and that should do it.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Now these guys have long-range whips, and when they drop their whips, they will always, before they do anything else, they will go back and retrieve their whips. So that's sort of a movement mechanic for them, and that knowledge helps you fight them. So there you see I was trying to avoid this guy, but he actually got on screen anyway. Not a big deal. Because he doesn't... one of them in himself doesn't have too much damage. Here I believe there are 3 and we avoided them all. That's perfect. Here there's just 1 enemy. And every time he drops his whip, he's gonna run away. Sometimes they have 7 hits, sometimes they have 8. It's kind of weird. Now it's essential we beat this guy before the others get on the screen, so we did really well there. And now I think I got that guy's whip, so he actually doesn't know what to do. He gets kind of confused. Alright. And then here are some enemies off screen. It looks like that one's gonna get on screen, but again, if it's only one, we can beat him really quickly with this whip from long range, and it's not a big deal. These guys require 11 whips. And I just want to make sure I keep my whip, so I'm avoiding all the items that are dropped. Here again, we're going to dodge the off-screen guys if we can, and we did. Oh, there are more, I forgot. So that one might worm his way on screen. We got rid of the one that was starting to appear there, but just this one we have to whip. Oops. Mashing doesn't slow you down on these guys, so I just mash. I would time each whip if I had to, but don't have to. Okay, he picked up the club. So now we're in a better position to avoid the clubs.
Couch is getting full of stuff.
And that should be it. Next comes another shooting level. And I think there's like always an enemy that appears here, so I always try and hold the fire button to defeat him with my machine gun before he can appear. And I got him that time. If I don't get him, he has a tendency to run around in those windows, and he might try to shoot you at an inopportune moment, so...
Sumdiener, thank you for the host, and welcome anybody coming from Sumdiener. Welcome to Slurpathon 3.
Did you just do it?
Oop. Now we're already down to 4 hits here, so I'm kind of worried about my health. We hope for a first aid kit to appear. The odds of one appearing on any given kill in this level are particularly low, but despite that, I usually get at least one somewhere along the way. And if I don't, I'll just have to be very careful against the final boss. There's one.
Nice.
So we're fine. There's gonna be a cyclist here, and we got him before he could shoot us.
Your Mom, My Prom, thank you for hosting as well.
How many hosts do we have now?
We are being hosted by 40 channels. Thank you so much to everybody.
Thank
we really
you all
do
so
appreciate
much.
it. Hey, Sumdiener, thank you. We definitely have been having a great time tonight.
Yeah, I pretty much just got here, and I am having a blast, and I cannot wait to watch the runs after mine. So right now we have a bulletproof vest. We don't actually have to worry about anyone shooting us. I've only taken 1 damage since the last first aid kit, so there shouldn't be anything to worry about with the boss.
I find it amusing that you have a bullet count, yet you're shooting things and it's not going down.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Every time you actually hit something with a bullet, you get your bullet back.
Magic.
I suppose the dynamic is another sort of failsafe to ensure that you don't just run out of bullets if you're not that skilled at this game.
As long as you're relatively skilled.
Got our health back again. And this is about the amount of bullets I want to have to try and drain my bullets at the very end of the fight so that we save time. So yeah, I really don't have to worry about the knives that are hitting me. The important thing is that we take down the gunner, whose shots we can't stop. Okay, I've got plenty of bullets, and we'll drain ourselves down to 1, and we're safe.
They still use the same Contra sounds and everything.
Yeah. Here, our goal is to pick up a gun. Oh. There we go, we got one, so we'll get some distance, and we'll just shoot these guys from a distance. We have a bulletproof vest on, so we don't have to worry about anything. More than enough bullets to go around here. Now these guys are all wearing bulletproof vests, so our goal is going to get the bulletproof vests off of them. And then because the game gets so crowded with things on the screen, we actually need to pick them up. Otherwise, the other characters won't be able to drop their bulletproof vests because there can only be 3 items on the ground at any given time for a new one to drop. I'm just weaving some bullets past this guy. We just need to get his bulletproof vest off and then we can finish this level. There we go.
This is such a crazy amalgamation of different games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Here we have to be really precise. And we got it. If you don't get that precise kill, that enemy will start moving vertically up and down on the screen and start launching dogs onto the screen, which will take extra time to defeat. So we're down to the final boss, which is actually the final 2 bosses. And this fight is going to look a little weird. First, we're going to walk right into him, take a little hit here. We're going to walk right into the corner until he starts kicking us. Then we're going to start doing damage. We're going to drop our whip and leave it. We're going to drop our bulletproof vest and leave it. And the reason is because if we don't have any items, the final boss actually has less health to start. Oh, that might screw things up, it might not, we'll see. Nice. I think we can still do this. I'm not totally sure, but we'll find out. Oh, now probably not. Oh, I got away. So maybe with safe strats here. Oh, maybe not. Come on. 2 more hits. 2 more hits. We got it. Time.
Oh!
22-25.
Nice.
That
0.98.
That was scary. That was really
Nice
scary.
job. Is that your girl?
That's my girl.
Is that Annabelle?
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
Another great game with great ending credits music. No surprise, being another Konami game. But of course, we got to move on. So I'm gonna stop these ones. This track short, and this wonderful story. For a while, I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew you would come. She knew.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, in what other game do you see, like, in what other NES game do you see a character crying like that? Like, look at her eyes. That's just perfect. So much emotion detailed in that one little pixel area. It's only like 3 pixels. All right.